Once upon a time, in a quiet valley nestled between towering misty mountains, a tiny egg cracked open under the first rays of dawn. Out popped a baby dragon named Flix. He was small enough to fit in the palm of your hand. His emerald green scales shimmered softly in the sunlight. His tiny golden wings fluttered like delicate autumn leaves. His amber eyes shone with endless curiosity, and his curly tail twitched whenever he felt excitement or mischief. Flix stretched his little claws, testing the world for the very first time. Everything looked so big and magical. The soft moss under his feet, the sparkling dewdrops on the grass, and the tall, ancient trees that whispered with the wind. But what caught his attention most was a strange, sparkling mist drifting across the valley. "Where does it come from?" Flix whispered to himself. His tiny wings fluttered nervously as he wobbled toward it. He gave a tiny puff of fire, expecting a huge blast, but only a small golden spark shot out. To his delight, it hit a rock and made a rainbow shimmer across the mist. Flix's eyes sparkled with joy, and he clapped his tiny claws together in excitement. Eager to explore, Flix waddled deeper into the valley. The air was fresh and smelled of wildflowers. Every step he took seemed to make the valley come alive with tiny magic. The glowing mushrooms giggled when brushed by his tail. The babbling brook reflected sunlight like scattered jewels. Colorful petals floated around him as if dancing to an invisible melody. Suddenly, Flix heard a soft giggle. Peeking behind a mushroom, he saw a friendly cloud sprite, small and round, with wings like misty ribbons. "Hello," chirped the sprite. "Are you the little dragon I've been hearing about?" Flix nodded shyly. "I'm Flix. I just hatched." "Perfect!" exclaimed the sprite. "I'll show you the secrets of the valley." Together, Flix and the sprite explored hidden caves, sparkling ponds, and twisting vines. Flix discovered he could make tiny sparks dance, turning ordinary rocks into glimmering jewels, and even coaxing flowers to bloom in vivid colors as he passed. The valley seemed to giggle along with him at every magical surprise. The next morning, Flix woke to the sound of birds singing in rainbow-colored trees. Eager for more exploration, he waddled toward a meadow filled with sleeping flowers. He tried to wake them with a gentle puff of fire. One by one, the flowers popped open, shaking off dew like they were stretching after a long nap. But the most magical part was when Flix twirled in the middle of the meadow. His sparks made the flowers sway and dance, almost like they were performing a secret festival just for him. A tiny hummingbird with glittery feathers appeared from behind a flower. "You have magic in your sparks. Use it wisely, little dragon." Flix nodded proudly, realizing that even though he was small, he could bring joy and wonder
He continued his journey
wherever
toward
he
the
went.
forest at the valley's edge, where the trees were ancient and tall, their bark faintly shimmering in the sunlight. As he brushed past them, the leaves seemed to whisper secrets of the forest. One deep, melodic voice said, "Little dragon, the valley is full of magic. But true magic comes from kindness and curiosity." Flix practiced using his sparks to help the tiniest animals, a beetle stuck under a leaf, a baby squirrel trying to reach a branch, and even a shy frog who had lost its way. Every act of kindness made his sparks brighter, warmer, and more playful. One afternoon, the valley was filled with a thick, sparkling mist, swirling mysteriously across the hills. Flix's amber eyes widened. "I want to see where it comes from," he whispered, waddling through the mist. The mist seemed alive. Sometimes it tickled his scales, sometimes it glimmered in rainbow colors when his sparks touched it. Deep inside, Flix found a hidden waterfall with glowing crystals embedded in the rocks. The mist danced and sparkled like a curtain of liquid light. Flix hopped, letting his sparks fly. Instantly, the mist formed shapes of stars, clouds, and tiny dancing dragons. A gentle voice echoed, "Welcome, little dragon. You have discovered the heart of the valley's magic." Flix felt proud and happy. Even though he was tiny and young, he could do big magical things. While exploring, he heard a faint cry and discovered a tiny fox cub stuck on a rock near the stream. Its paw was hurt, and it couldn't move. Flix's heart swelled with determination. Carefully, he used his spark to lift a branch, helping the cub reach safety. The fox licked his face in gratitude, and Flix's spark twinkled brighter than ever. "I can help my friends and make magic at the same time," Flix said happily. As the sun set, the valley was covered in twilight and glowing fireflies. Flix curled up on a soft patch of moss and watched as the fireflies danced around him. He tried to match their glow with tiny sparks from his mouth. Soon the fireflies joined in a sparkling dance, making the valley look like a sky full of floating stars. Flix laughed and twirled, feeling happy, brave, and magical. That night, Flix slept under the twinkling stars, dreaming of new adventures. Flying over the mountains for the first time, meeting dragons from distant lands, discovering hidden valleys filled with magical creatures, and creating sparkling wonders wherever he went. Even though he was tiny, Flix realized that curiosity, kindness, and a little spark of magic could make the world a wonderful place. And so, the baby dragon who had just hatched from his egg became the guardian of tiny magic, spreading joy, sparkle, and wonder wherever he went. The valley whispered a soft promise. Tomorrow would bring new adventures, friends, and surprises, and Flix would be ready to meet them all with his tiny spark and a big heart.